Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is YEG Pivots, and I am your host, Ingrid Schiffer. For June 18th, 2020, we have episode 7. Can you believe we've been doing this show for 7 weeks? 7 weeks of bringing you hometown inspiration, spotlighting local Edmonton businesses, and really showcasing how fellow business owners have been able to not only survive, but at times thrive despite the odds, despite the challenges that this year has brought. Very excited for our lineup of guests today. So without further ado, I'll welcome our first guest from a very well-known establishment here in Edmonton. You may have heard of it. If you please. We have Gloria Bednarz and Jeremy Hess with Art of Cake. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Well, we're very excited to hear your story. For those, and I'm guessing there's probably just a handful who have not heard of the Art of Cake, could you kindly give us a little bit of history about the company and what that was like for starting out, and then we'll get into what this year has brought in terms of challenges. But tell us a little bit about your business, please.
So we started out as a very small home-based business approximately 13 years ago. We started out at a local farmers market in Sherwood Park at the Salisbury Greenhouse. And we started off really in the wedding industry, doing wedding cakes and custom birthday cakes and stuff like that. And we went to the retail, was the farmers market to sort of get our name out there. And from there, we moved from another smaller location and another location. And here we are right now in behind Oliver Square. We have a almost 5,000 square foot, 100 seat capacity cafe / bakery coffee shop. So we've definitely grown quite a bit. We started off very small and just made really small advances to be where we are today.
Wow. And so now this location behind Oliver Square, so tell us a little bit about how this year went in terms of, being that you have the capacity for 100, did you have to shut down at all? What were some of how did this even affect you? Where did that start? When?
Well, it was the whole, like everyone else, it was just, you hear, that this is coming and, certain things are changing. And then, all of a sudden we have to close our doors. Obviously, we had a lot of inventory. We had, weddings booked. We had high teas booked. We had a lot of events booked in our space. And so it was really challenging to sort of set those aside and let the customers know that we would no longer be able to do those things. And the customers themselves very disappointed that they couldn't come in for high tea. But everybody understood what was going on. It was just, really hard playing the day-to-day activity and planning, the shutdown, which sort of took all of us really off guard and, and just, letting the staff go and, making those adjustments and then cleaning up your inventory. All of a sudden you have this kitchen that's got no employees in it and you've got a fridge full of food, and how do we cope with that and how do we deal with the excess food that we had and things like that. And then, thinking about when we reopened, what do we start with? So we were dealing with suppliers and getting some inventory that we knew was coming from Europe, that perhaps we better get some inventory on some of those things now because we don't know what it's going to look like in 2 months when everything is shut down and we have to think about reopening. Where are we going to get those supplies from? And so it was a little bit of how do we deal with things going back in 2 or 3, not really knowing when we were going to reopen, right?
Yeah. And so, and how interesting, because I think maybe it's easy to forget that a lot of your inventory very well might be perishable. So yeah. It's not like, you can just put it in a freezer. So there must have been some losses to take in that regard too.
Yeah, absolutely. So we did some donations and we had, family and friends again that were, also, all of a sudden hibernating. So here, here's this that, it'll last in your freezer for a little bit, that kind of thing. So, in that sense, everybody was very appreciative and things like that. And we had a lot of people come to us because they couldn't get flour and certain things at the grocery stores. And so we had a good supply. So, you know, we were filling buckets so people can actually have, you know, flour. So, it was, you know, it was good.
Well, that's great that you guys were able to find the positive side in terms of how to deal with your inventory and whatnot. What about your staff? Are you back to full crew or?
Getting pretty close, I'd say.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Good. Everyone, it's surprising how the willingness of everyone to come back to work has been, you know, pretty phenomenal. So everyone wants to get back to a little bit of normalcy around here. So.
Excellent, excellent. And so now, in terms of reopening, you guys are open now?
Open for sit down, open for coffee, tea, all the great things we used to have before. So.
Excellent.
With the restrictions, we're at 50% capacity. So.
And so that must be a challenge in itself.
It is, because, you know, there have been a few days already where we haven't really had a table available. I mean, we were facing that on a regular Saturday where we had regulars would come in and they couldn't get a table. So, you know, now that we're reopened, of course, everybody wants to go out. You know, challenge, like, you're gonna have a big reservation. So it's you know, so
sorry, Gloria, you cut out a little bit there. Can I get you to repeat?
We do our best and keep everybody safe and follow all the guidelines out for us.
Are you there? Okay, sorry, we had you cut out a little bit there. Can I trouble you to repeat that last little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So we you know, we were challenged with, before we closed, that, you know, we have, you know, quite a few tables and they would be full on a Saturday afternoon. And so we'd have, you know, some disgruntled customers because there's no place to sit. And of course, obviously opening up back to a 50% capacity, again, we have a shortfall of tables. So sometimes, you know, people are a little upset that we don't have a place for them to sit, but we do want to do our best and follow those guidelines. And obviously with the tables being separated by the 6 feet, you know, so that everybody, that we can do our part to stay safe, right?
Right. And so now, are you able to take advantage of any of, there's been murmurs of patio licensing being available to kind of, you know, during the summer season, expand capacity for some, you know, restaurants and venues, or have you guys been able to consider that, or is that something that your customers will?
We do. We have the great thing is we do have a patio behind, you know, on our facility. So we do have, you know, 4 tables out there. So it's been great, and those have been full too. And of course, everybody wants to get as much sunshine in this province as possible on those sunny days. And especially between all the rain right now. So those have been well utilized as well.
Oh, good. That's great to hear. And so now, you, if I understand correctly, Art of Cake does catering as well for events, I think.
Right? We do more catering in-house though. So
okay.
we do have the people will book the venue for, you know, small receptions. We do specialty high teas, off hours. We've done, you know, a little fashion show. So we're kind of a unique little venue. So, you know, we've had a lot of people that have come to us and said, you know, this is the perfect place for me to launch my book. So we've certainly taken advantage of those things after hours. So
wonderful.
There's some catering offsite, but most of it's in-house.
And so people can now still, you know, reach out to Art of Cake and potentially have those events. You guys have the capacity and ability to, you know, work within those restrictions that have been placed and kind of move forward operating.
Yeah, absolutely. And being that we're at 50% capacity, we can put 50 people, you know, in the space. So that's a nice number, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. And so now have you found that that you have people kind of walking in as much as, or are they calling in advance? Like, do you find that aside from your regular customers, are people aware that you guys are open, that you have the capacity to host events, or are you finding that anyone's like assuming that you're closed, or have you been able to kind of connect and stay connected with your customers throughout this time?
I'd say it's been quite amazing seeing even everyone just walking in off the street. We have a beautiful garage door that we can open, and it opens it up to the sidewalk. And, you know, people that, you know, like always before too, people just walk by and see that, oh, what's that? And you know, they come in and then obviously they inquire about can we have an event here? Can we do this here? And it just seems to get busier and busier every time, like every summer too. So just progressing more and more.
That's so not enlightening, uplifting to hear that, you know, a place that's definitely been a destination for many people to kind of, you know, relax and go visit. And it has definitely a reputation that precedes itself. So very happy to hear that you guys are back to operational, and that's very great news. Is there anything that I haven't asked you that you'd like to share with everyone watching right now? And then I'll take a moment to see, because I know we have some comments, but I haven't had a chance to check. So, but before I do.
I think, you know, for us, we're just so grateful, just so grateful. And Edmonton is amazing.
Aw.
Well, nice to see everyone again. And the positive vibes have been pretty amazing the last couple of weeks. So it's really awesome.
I echo your sentiments. You know, as we've been doing the show every week, I find that it's just heartwarming to see how the community is pulling together, supporting one another. And through this all, we've managed to build like tremendous camaraderie, and, you know, and kind of used it as an opportunity to grow stronger as a community. So, you know, and it's not just the businesses in our North Edge area. We're finding that we're reaching other business owners, and you know, people are getting ideas from the show. They're getting inspiration, a little bit of hope, you know, hey, they went through struggles and they made it. And I'm also very grateful, you know, that we're able to kind of get through this together. We're all in this together. But it's brought back a focus on shopping local and supporting local business. And I think it's, you know, something we've heard a lot, but I think now people are putting it into practice because we're all just so impacted, right? So, you know, that's, I'm happy for you. And yeah, just you're touching me, Gloria, like I just, you know, yeah, just all the feels right now. Okay, on that note, before I get all misty-eyed, I'm going to see what we've got here in terms of comments. And so here we go. We have someone, so Sherry Greer says, I love Art of Cake, and that she needs a date for her return to Art of Cake. And there are no words to describe the fruit tarts. She's getting obnoxious in her love for Art of Cake. So just, you have a fan out there. I have heard of your legendary high teas, and I've had, I believe, did you not cater our annual general meeting last year, right? And that was fantastic. Like I wasn't expecting, and you know, shame on me for judging, but I was thinking, you know, okay, Art of Cake is just going to be like cake. But my goodness, that meal was absolutely delicious. It was like, you know, all the fixings that I couldn't believe I was like devouring vegetables, like it's just amazing. So, you know, shout out to you guys for sure for an incredible meal, and that's memorable, even though we're probably coming up on a year. So just want to share that. And so that's exciting. Now, for those who, what we've also seen on the show is a lot of people, and some of the comments, people are thinking about starting businesses during this time. And it's interesting because, you know, I, as a business owner myself, I think sometimes we take for granted what that long process, that long trail of experience led us to today. And then when we see someone that's just starting out or even considering it, it just brings back all the challenges that have been overcome, right? Yes. So what kind of words words of advice or just some guidance for those that are thinking about starting a business, maybe specifically in your industry, what would you tell them today?
I would say you truly, truly have to be passionate about what you do to get into this business with food. I think, I mean, for me personally, food brings so many people together. It's the moments that we remember, the weddings, anniversaries, all of those, you know, just going out for cake or coffee with a friend. I mean, those are moments that you'll always remember. But behind the kitchen, it is a very long hours. For me, it's personally very rewarding, but you really, truly have to love it. And if And if you can make that sacrifice and that time sacrifice and the commitment of just to keep going, you know, like, because there are, you know, days like, you know, what we've just been through that sort of wear on you, to be able to see all of the positive things that comes out of it, and then, you know, pick up and keep going, because it is a lot of pick up and keep going. I mean, our days aren't great, but there's a lot of, you know, to understand those days that do come that are great will carry you over through those points that aren't quite so happy.
I have to say, having a great team behind you is very important too.
Huge.
You know, we have such an amazing staff, and they've helped us out get back to,
yeah,
you know, where we are today, and they love what they do, and we love having them here. So it's very important.
Passionate staff, huge. Some of them have worked with us for a long time, and they make it all worth it. And really, they help us put it together day after day, and they see us, you know, those good days and the days that we struggle, and they're there to help us through it, which is great, amazing.
Well, that speaks volumes, because, you know, you definitely, the fact that you have passionate staff, the way you guys are talking about, you know, how critical they are to your success and sustainability, speaks a lot. It sounds like you have quite a family there. And I don't know about you guys, I'm kind of old school in this way, but I was raised to believe that whatever emotion you're feeling while you're cooking or baking goes through to the person who's eating it. And so, you know, it comes to mind because there's just so many beautiful things that people have to say about Art of Cake, that it makes me think, you know, and further to what you're saying, that you guys must be baking and cooking with love every day. And so it's beautiful to hear that, because the way that you guys appreciate your staff, I'm sure, comes through in your food. So, and forgive me, I just get so excited about foods, and I don't know, we always end up having a guest on the show with food, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. And so I'll probably pop in later, and
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But no, that's wonderful that you guys have been able to kind of navigate these difficult waters. And again, just I echo your sentiments regarding the community. Now, to kind of bring it over to a different tone, for those that don't know, for those that are watching that might be on Instagram or looking for an amazing aesthetic, if I recall correctly, Art of Cake has quite the unique decor, and is very what we would call Instagrammable. And so I'm just going to go ahead and plug that for you. If anyone wants to have a unique background or beautiful food or images for your nice Instagram aesthetic, Art of Cake is the place to get that, in addition to the delicious delectables that are found there daily. So I'm going to see what, I've got I've got a request to do it in Spanish. That'll have to come later. Perdón, pero no puedo hacer la entrevista en español hoy porque mis huéspedes son inglés. So I just said, I'm sorry, I can't do the interview in Spanish today. My guests are speaking English. So, but I'll make note of that. And so if there's any other comments, I'm just going to see here. I think we're good. I can't thank you both enough. Where can we find you online? Do you guys have like any specials that we should be looking for? Are you doing delivery? Anything you want to plug before we kind of move on to the next
thing? Is because of our high tea, and so many people miss that they couldn't come in for high tea, we decided to do our high tea takeaway. It was kind of in the works prior to the whole COVID thing, so it made it really easy for us to sort of implement that. So we were doing upwards of 80 to 100 high tea to go packages on the day. So it was, again, it was just phenomenal response from the public. I mean, our numbers have dropped a little bit as, you know, other restaurants and stuff open, but we're still currently doing our high tea takeaway, and we're looking at reopening in July for limited tables for our high tea in-house, but we're looking forward to having people back for our, you know, our high tea, our beautiful high tea. So
awesome. And so just to clarify, headwear is encouraged, right? Like big hat?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Just need a place to wear my
experience, right?
My big hats. You know, there's no derby now, so where am I going to wear my big hat?
Absolutely. Bring it
on
down. Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again to the both of you. I'll ask if you can stick around. That'd be great. We like to do a little group chat at the end and a group photo, screenshots, so to speak. So thank you again. So that's Gloria and Jeremy with The Art of Cake. Check them out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Are you on Twitter as well?
Yeah.
That's right,
Excellent. Okay, and go check out their high tea in July. And remember, they have a beautiful patio, garage door, lots of sun.
Live music every Friday as well.
What? How did you guys not mention this until now? Wonderful.
Drop that in.
So you guys are supporting the arts as well. That's amazing.
Yeah. We're not open yet on the Friday nights for that, but
they're coming soon. They're coming soon.
They're coming back soon. So.
Okay, so we'll stay glued to social to see that announcement then. Yeah. Wonderful, and you'll let us know so we can tell the viewers. Okay, awesome. Thank you, you guys. We'll see you in a bit. I'm going to go ahead and welcome our next guest, Hizkel Mehari. So give me 1 second here, and I will just go ahead and do that. And Hizkel, hello, can you hear me? Hello, Hizkel. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. I can see you. It's just not the same if we don't have one of these on the show where we one of these situations where we can't hear each other, or that's the beauty of live and Zoom and all the goodness that working remotely and kind of adapting to this new normal, I suppose. I know we've got, what happened here? Someone's computer broke. We're just waiting for Hizkel to connect to audio. In the meantime, I'd like to go ahead and remind everyone that if you want to be on the show, please check out our Facebook page, DM us if you're interested. And Hizkel, can you hear us now?
Hello, I'm not hearing you a little bit. Hello.
I can hear you now. That's awesome.
I'm not hearing you right now.
No.
I don't know why.
Do you have headphones? That might work. Note to self, maybe we'll do a dry run. We'll do a dry run with Gus earlier. Sorry about this, Hizkel. I can hear you.
Yeah, hello? Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Awesome. Welcome. So we've got Hizkel Mehari. Did I say that right? And Hizkel, you're with Hizkel Barbershop.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we get started, can you tell us all where your shop is located?
107 Avenue, 113, 21 Street.
Okay, right on. And so how long have you had your shop?
Now it's 3 years and 2 months.
That's awesome. Okay, and so I'm sure this situation just kind of came out of the blue. Tell us a little bit about, what made you want to open a barbershop? Like, what inspired you? Tell us a little bit about the history of your business. Maybe we'll start there. Yeah.
When I was in back home, I have experience here barber shop, and then when I come in Canada, I have dream to open a barber shop. And then I like the business. Yeah.
That's awesome. So you got to fulfill your dream of opening up a barbershop when you came here to Canada.
Yeah.
That's heartwarming. That's beautiful. So did you find it hard to open up in Edmonton, or how was that?
Not hard, just a little bit financial problem, but it's okay. Not hard.
That's good. And so now you've had it for 3 years. How did this, at the beginning of the year when they were announcing that we would have to have businesses shut down, how did that affect you?
Oh yeah, we are terrible for about the financial.
Mm-hmm.
I have house and then mortgage and then rent barber is not easy.
No kidding. And I mean, having to pay rent for a space that you had to close down, right?
Yeah, but the tenants, he told me I have to pay, but I'm talking to him right now. I don't know what happened. He says you have to pay all.
Oh, so you haven't been able to get any subsidies or anything from your...
Yeah, we talked, but the guy, he need the full payment. They give me for 2 months.
And then that's it?
Yeah, but we talk right now. I don't know what's going on. We'll see.
Well, here's hoping that all gets worked out. Have you been able to take advantage of some of the government programs to help small businesses?
For what?
Well, there's been some government programs put into place to help businesses with cash flow. Maybe, you know what, we'll have the producers send you some information on that, because that might help.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So you shut down, then you had to close your business. When was that? February, March?
2 months, yeah.
For 2 months. And so now you've been able to reopen?
Yeah, January, March, what do you call, March 15th?
March 15th, you had to close. And then
we up on now, May 14th.
Okay, so you've been open for just over a month then.
Yes.
That's awesome. So now, are you finding customers are coming back? Are they, just happy to come back?
The first 1 week, 5-6 days, yeah, it's okay. But now it's very, very slow.
Really?
Even I don't know how to cover the rent. Yeah, not easy.
So now, Hizkel, since we have, everyone watching right now, tell us a little bit, is it, so as a barber shop, do you have, are you doing shaves as well? Like, not for me, but I mean.
No, right now, because of Corona is not safe.
Okay.
Just haircut only. I didn't use a towel, just paper towel only. No dry, what do you call it? Dry brew. Just haircut only.
Just haircut only.
Yeah.
And you're finding that it's slower now?
Yes, very slow.
That's tough. Now, tell me, Hizkel, are you using any social media platforms to connect with your customers?
Yeah, I use on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people, they call me, and then some they scared to come to get haircut.
Wow. So it's just showing that people still have kind of those,
yeah,
they have that fear.
Yeah.
So are you wearing a mask when you're, cutting people's hair?
Yeah, I have everything. I have mask, gloves, sanitizer. I have everything.
So for everyone watching, go and support Hizkel's Barber Shop, located on 113th Street and 107th Avenue. He's open, and it sounds like you have a lot of availability, so probably very flexible with bookings. And so no shaves right now, but haircuts, trims, you're good to go for that, right?
Yes, true.
That's great to hear. And so now, Hizkel, as someone who's come from another country, you've come to Canada, you've been able to fulfill your dream of opening up a barber shop. You've overcome being closed for a couple of months, and it sounds like you still have some challenges, but that you sound determined to overcome them. What advice might you give to people in a similar situation that maybe are coming to Canada and have a dream, and what words of advice would you give them in terms of?
If you have dream, you can't do anything. Just have to do the dream, and then you have to work hard. When I come in Canada, I work cleaning 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes part-time barber shop, but I have dream. we have dream, you can't do anything.
That's beautiful. And you just stuck to your dream, and now you have your barbershop.
Yeah.
That's great. So I have no doubt that you will, get busier soon. And we're hearing, different stories from different members in the community. And it seems like, it's a roller coaster, right? Sometimes for some people it's getting busier, for some people it's slower. But it seems like as we open up, we're starting to see kind of that the economy kind of moving a little bit, right? So here's hoping you can get busier soon, and kind of get back to fulfilling your dream and focusing on running your barbershop. Anything else you want to let people know? Do you have any specials on haircuts or something you want to let everyone watching know about?
For my barbershop?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, you're going to show us the barbershop. Perfect. Yes. Yeah, show us. Yeah, why not?
This is my barbershop, very clean and then big.
That is big. And it does look very clean, Hizkel. Very clean.
Yeah, very clean.
But I see what you mean. You got a lot of empty seats there. We need to fill those seats for you, huh?
Yeah, people they don't come in yet. We'll see.
Well, here's hoping things turn around for you soon. For everyone watching, please, where can you said you're on Facebook, so we can connect with you on Facebook? Hizkel Barbershop?
Yes.
Okay. So everyone watching, please go and like Hizkel's page, and let's show him some support. And maybe if you mention this show, he'll give you a deal on a haircut. Yeah. Why not, right? Yeah, a little bit of a deal for our viewers. I'm going to go ahead and welcome our next guest here right away. Hizkel, before we move on, is there anything you want to share with everyone watching? I'm just going to check to see if there are any comments, but any last comments for our viewers?
Okay.
Any last comments? You're good?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. I am going to go ahead and see. Now, it doesn't look like our next guest is here. So we might actually end up wrapping the show up early, unless we have any comments from people watching. So I'm going to go ahead and bring back Jeremy and Gloria, and then we'll do a little bit of a group shot here. So just give me 1 second.
Okay.
And let's see here. There we go.
Gloria. Yeah.
Gloria!
She's coming.
No worries. And we'll get a group shot going here.
So you have any idea about the benefit for government?
Yeah, what I'll do, Hizkel, is I'm going to go ahead and have our show's producers send you some information, because I do believe that if your business has been around for a couple of years, well, you said 3, there's a few requirements, but if you've been around, you very well may likely qualify for some government assistance. They did roll out a program that helps businesses, specifically your type of situation, because you've been closed, yet you still need to pay your rent. So it's been a challenge for a lot of businesses to generate revenue when you don't have a venue where you can generate that revenue. So hopefully they'll be able to provide some information, and we'll post some information on the YEG Pivots page for businesses that also may be interested in taking advantage of that. for those watching that may or may not be a business in the North Edge, we do have quite a cumulative list of resources that the YEG ambassadors, which are one of our supporters, I don't know if this, yeah, right here, YEG ambassadors. So the show is brought to you by YEG ambassadors in conjunction with the North Edge Business Association. And so YEG ambassadors have worked tirelessly to put together a whole list of resources that you can access. So it's for entrepreneurs, for business owners, where you can get certain supplies, subsidies, and wage assistance or wage relief. It's a very comprehensive guide. So for those watching, look for that link in your North Edge newsletter. And if you don't receive the newsletter, just check out the webpage, check or message YEG Pivots, and we'll send it to you. We'll make sure you get that information. We also do have some construction updates. So maybe while we're waiting for Gloria, I'm just going to go ahead and share those. For those that are in the 105th Avenue area of the North Edge, I'm just going to pull up this. I just got a bulletin here. So this is hot off the press. Oh, go ahead, Hizkel.
One customer is coming. Can you do this guy first?
Who? Me?
No, I have customer.
Oh, you got to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Jeremy, if you're there, can you pop on the group shot?
We're both here.
How come I can't see you? Oh, how about this? There we go. There we go. Okay, well, everyone smile for the camera. Awesome. Okay, Hizkel's busy. He's got a customer. You go, sir. I totally appreciate that. And Gloria and Jeremy, thank you again for joining us. And Hizkel, thank you for joining us. I'm going to wrap up the show with some bulletins and construction updates. But check out Art of Cake. Check out Hizkel's Barbershop. Shop local. And thank you again for joining us. Appreciate
and then I have for rent. I have rent. What do you call the chair? Rent chair.
Oh, okay. So for anyone interested in renting a chair at a barbershop, get in touch with Hizkel. And Gloria and Jeremy, if you know anyone, pass it along.
Yeah,
and all support each other. Thank you, all three of you, for joining. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. See you.
Bye. See you. Bye.
Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Welcome back. When I done, I'm come back.
Oh, I think I cut him off. I'm sorry. Bye, Jeremy. Bye, Gloria. Oh, hot off the press, folks. Hot off my. Done on the east sides of 107th Street and 108th Street. Construction along the commercial streets, that would be 106th Street, 107th Street, and 108th Street. They are all planned to be completed by the end of September. That's exciting. Access will continue to be maintained for vehicles along 107th Street and 108th Street. Drainage work is presently ongoing along 107th Street and also 106th Street. We have drainage work presently going, okay, we talked about that. Parking will be maintained on the west side of the road, so good news. Pedestrian access will be maintained along the west sides of 107th Street and 108th Street. Regarding 106th Avenue, the road is closed from 107th Street to 109th Street. Existing road and walks to be removed, and the new gravel base will be placed, followed by new curb and gutter and walk. So looks like a whole, I was going to say facelift, but if it's a sidewalk ground lift, I don't know. We'll leave that. Pedestrian access will be maintained to West Can Embroidery and Cafe Amore. Both businesses have parking lot access from the alley. Regarding 105th Avenue, also known as Columbia Avenue, not to be confused with the country Colombia, which is C-O-L-O-M-B-I-A. This is Columbia Avenue, C-O-L-U-M-B-I-A. Little FYI from a half Colombian. Okay, 105th Avenue, that is Columbia Avenue. ATCO gas forecast work on 105th Avenue between 113th Street and 114th Street, and that it'll begin in late May. So it's already begun because we're in June. Maybe this isn't that hot off the press. Regardless, it is anticipated that this area will need to be closed to through traffic to complete the work. So following this project, ATCO will be moving operations to 109 and 110th Street to complete relocation of the existing gas service to the businesses west of 109th Street. Now, EPCOR Distribution and Transmission, they're forecasting to begin work between 109th Street and 110th Street literally any day now, because they said mid-June and we're in mid-June. They estimate approximately 3 weeks per block to complete each section. Work will need to take place in the alley access points at 105th Avenue. Bell Canada is forecasting to begin work in June between 114th Street and 107th Street. Not mentioned if they will be putting up 5G towers. But they're doing work there, so that's cool. Anyway, and for those that don't know, that is the next evolution of technology. So look it up. EPCOR Drainage is forecasting work in mid-August between the west side of 109th Street and 107th Street. Road closures east of 109th Street and lane closures west of 109th Street will be on 105th Avenue and will be required to complete the work. Now, for any of you that are interested in getting this information, it is emailed out to all our North Edge Business Association members. So all the member businesses will get this bulletin via email. If you have no information, you're not getting the emails, please message YEG Pivots on Facebook with a little direct message and we'll make sure to get you on the list. There's other updates, but I will leave those for now so you have something to check out when you subscribe to the newsletter. And thank you all for joining us today. This has been another episode of YEG Pivots. Please stay safe and shop local. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next week, Thursday at 2:30 p.m. here on Facebook. And be sure to follow us on Facebook. Check out all our old episodes on YouTube and share with your friends. If you know of a business that we should be interviewing, please reach out and we'll get you the registration form. The point of this show is to build camaraderie in the business community. We look forward to continuing to do that with your help. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend.